Episode 4. Stomp your hooves and wait.
Я сама не поверила, но Лилия Павловна на работу не вышла.
I couldn't believe it at first, but Lilia Pavlovna didn't come to work today.
Контрольная отменяется.
The test is off. I mean, I hope she said that with excitement, but I don't know. By the look on her face, it looks like she really wanted to take that test. I remembered Katya. She was both beautiful and mean. Katya, the first girl in our whole class whose body started maturing, to the envy of all the other female students. The main source of gossip, a snake and a bitch. I continued scribbling in my notebook, drawing rows of pines and 2 small figures, flying between the treetops and the full moon. Shivers ran up to my shoulders, sneaking playfully under the hem of my shirt. Oh, that's cool. The little drawing animation. Oh, it's us holding hands with, Alisa, but wearing the bunny mask. Even though soaring through the sky felt so simple, there was still something evil weighing me down. Was it the stolen signet ring or the heavy look those missing kids from the notice board were giving me? The culprit was definitely still in the village. They were hiding something horrible under a mask of piousness.
А что ты рисуешь?
Look at him. He's still thinking about Eliza, his little daydreaming phase. I can't. What are you drawing? I'm embarrassed. I covered the notebook as if there was something shameful about the figures above the forest.
Да ничего, так, дурака валяю.
Nothing really, just fooling around. Aw, she looks so cute. Polina put her elbows on the desk. I had already forgotten how light and graceful she was, just like a violin. I wish she could also jump around with us, after stripping away her mask of fake mundanity. I smiled, imagining Polina's skirt flapping in the wind, the stars sparkling all around us, her asking in bewilderment whether it is all a dream, and myself telling her that it doesn't matter. Polina's expression grew dark again.
Ужасно еще и то, что Катю мне жалеть сложно.
It's all tragic that I find it difficult to empathize with her.
Я правда ищу в себе сострадание, но вспоминаю ее поступки и...
I tried so hard, but then I remembered all her nasty deeds and... Polina shook her head.
Я чудовище, да?
I'm a monster, aren't I? No, I thought. You're one of the most beautiful girls I've ever met. I decided not to say that out loud.
Плохо, наверное, что исчезновение анкеты расстроило меня больше, чем пропажа одноклассницы.
It's not okay that I felt worse when I lost my questionnaire than when she went missing.
Ты потеряла анкету?
You lost your questionnaire?
Да, и кто-то сейчас читает чужие секреты.
Yes, somebody out there is reading other people's secrets now. Well, I mean, it's a good thing we lied in the questionnaire, so I don't think he said anything embarrassing. Yes, the forest, I thought, imagining the crooked branches turning notebook pages, touching the childish handwriting with the icy twigs.
Надеюсь, ее найдут.
I hope the search goes well. I was unsure whether she spoke about Katya or her notebook. I wanted to ask her about it, but then I noticed Polina's intense stare directed at me.
Что?
What?
Ты будто изменился.
You've changed. I smoothed my hair flat, surprised. It's almost like he's like, have I? Have I really? In a good way or a bad way?
Просто не выспался.
I just didn't sleep well tonight.
Сегодня ты точно какая-то другая мелодия.
You're a
Очень
different melody
древняя,
today.
таинственная.
Some mysterious ancient tune. I thought about the flute's melody streaming between the bushy treetops.
Надеюсь, ты никому не рассказал про наш вчерашний разговор?
I hope you haven't told anyone else of our chat yesterday.
Что ты?
Of course not. She nodded as if acknowledging that she can fully trust me. I wasn't sure whether I merited such trust. Her hair cascaded down around her shoulders. The smell was so wonderful that it sent me flying toward the glowing stars of my inner cosmos without any magic. Oh, look who's staring at us. At that moment, I felt Bayasha's piercing stare. He was clearly watching us. I took my glasses off so I wouldn't be able to see his nasty smirk. Yet a picture of Ramka's knife gleamed between my mind's eye. My palms became sweaty.
Опять уснул?
Did you fall asleep again?
Полина,
Tell her, a voice in my head whispered to me. And to hell with the consequences.
кажется, Ромка на тебя глаз положил.
I think Ramka has his eyes on you.
Думаешь, я не знаю?
You think I don't know?
Откуда?
But how?
Считай, это моя интуиция.
Let's say it's my intuition.
Только вот Пятифанов мне безразличен.
But I don't care about Pia Tifanov at all. That wonderful news made me more confident.
Мне кажется, ему не хватит мозгов, чтобы завоевать тебя.
I think he lacks brains to win your attention. Polina flashed me an alluring smile.
Хорошо, что у меня есть ты.
It's a good thing I have you then.
А может, погуляем после уроков?
Want to go for a walk after school?
Дедушка чувствует себя лучше. Я могу задержаться вечером.
Grandpa has been feeling better recently. I can return home a bit later. I signed my death sentence when I replied,
Конечно, давай.
okay, perfect. If it gave me the option, I was absolutely going to say yes. So I was like, in my head, I was like, you better not say no or give us the option. Yeah, sure.
Тогда до встречи.
Then I'll see you later. She leaned forward and looked at me with her piercing eyes again, then mumbled as if guessing.
Что-то из мусорского.
Something from Musergixki? I totally butchered that.
Нет, пожалуй.
No, probably not. She left, and in her place, Romka's underlying started drilling me with his eyes. His thumb slid under his Adam's apple as if saying, "You're dead." I mean, everyone that's bullied me has ended up missing, so, I mean, sure. If you would like that curse of becoming the next missing child, come and get us. The rest of the classes flew by, and I was finally able to leave the school. Small whirlwinds brushed across the schoolyard like spinning tops. Big white snowflakes fell from the sky. Streetlights gleamed in the semi-dark. Their shine, crystallized in the cold, became firm and pointy. A dog whined in the distance, making me think of poor Zolka. Polina stood at the school steps, the wind playing with her hair.
Я уже отвык от городского шума. Здесь всегда так тихо.
I've already forgotten the city's bustle. This place is so tranquil.
О, а я мечтаю о какофонии.
Oh, and I dream of that cacophony. I love the snow falling right now. It's gorgeous.
А чём?
Caca, what? I didn't know how to say it either, so I totally relate to Anton for that one. My companion burst out laughing.
Какофония — это случайное сочетание звуков.
A cacophony is the chaotic mixture of sounds.
Дедушка учит находить мелодию во всем.
Grandpa always taught me to look for a melody in everything.
Он, наверное, классный.
Your grandpa sounds cool.
Не то слово. Скоро я вас познакомлю.
He truly is. I'll introduce you soon.
Ты меня в гости приглашаешь?
Are you inviting me to come over?
А ты против?
You don't want to? Uh-oh. A nasty whistle swept across the yard, interrupting me. Two silhouettes materialized from the snowfall, hands inside their pockets and heads kept low. The way that tough duo walked towards us didn't bode well for me.
А ну руки убрал от нее, живо!
Get your hands off her now!
Полин, ты как? Он тебя не тронул?
You alright, Polina? Did he harm you?
Мы все видели, на!
We saw it, eh?
Видели что?
Saw what?
Что ты ее в лес вести собрался, психопат? Как Катьку.
That you were gonna lead her into the forest, you psycho, just like Katya.
В последний момент успели, на!
We got here in the nick of time, eh? Polina's frustrated voice flew across the yard like a bird.
Да что вы мелите?
What's wrong with you two?
А ты не в курсе?
Haven't you heard?
Как только этот чепушила сюда переехал, сразу народ стал пропадать.
As soon as this asswipe moved here, people started to go missing.
Ага, я вот сам видел, как он вчера Катю провожать вызвался и в лес уволок.
Yeah, and I saw him offer Katya to walk her home and drag her into the forest yesterday with my own eyes. I tried to retort.
Врешь! Я эту Катьку терпеть не мог!
Lies. I hated Katya.
А, вот потому ее и грохнул.
And that's exactly why you offed her.
Все сходится, на!
Makes sense, eh? I was taken aback by this injustice. The only positive here was the fact that Rom-Com Bayasha made for terrible actors. Their lies were C- at best, if I were to rate them.
Повезло тебе, что мы с ментами не икшаемся.
You're lucky we don't deal with the cops.
А то бы с радостью тебя маньяка сдали.
Or we've happily reported your murdering ass.
Ничего, ничего! Ща проведем с ним воспитательную беседу, на!
It's okay, we're about to have a serious talk with him, eh?
Держи его!
Grab him! Rom-Com moved toward me, smirking.
Значит, Катя тебе не нравилась, да?
So you didn't like Katya, huh?
Конечно, кто еще мог ее порешить?
Well, of course. Who else could have offed her?
Ты, например.
You could. I looked at Polina in amazement. He's like, ah! And she came to her defense so fast, like she was so over this. Romka froze in place with his fist
В
raised.
смысле?
What do you mean?
Катя, при всем уважении, никого не любила.
Let's be honest, Katya didn't particularly like anybody.
Думаешь, Рома, она про тебя сплетни не распускала?
Do you think she wasn't spreading rumors behind your back, Roma?
Что твой отец в тюрьме сидел, что он тебя бьет?
About your dad's jail time? About him hitting you all the time? I love the Romka's face turned red and he started flopping his lips like a fish out of water. Polina continued speaking in a voice that rang with anger.
А ты, Бяша, сам-то где вчера вечером пропадал?
And you, Bayasha? Where were you yesterday evening?
Катя говорила, что ты с приветом стал, как на черный гараж наткнулся.
Katya said you had a few loose screws ever since you encountered the black garage. Look at him sweating. Oh my gosh. Bayasha retreated, his face becoming deadly white in the cavity of his hood.
Так может, это ты тот психопат, что Катю украл?
Maybe you're the psycho who kidnapped Katya then. Нет! No! Bayasha let out a voice that almost turned into a squeal. Then he turned around and wobbled his way toward the gate, shaking his head. Wow, I thought she dealt with Bayasha so easily.
Что, один остался? Ромео недоделанный.
Well, what now, wannabe Romeo?
Какую еще гнусность выдумаешь, чтобы меня удивить?
What other nasty lie will you come up with to surprise me with? Roma gulped, clearly discouraged.
Цирк устроить хотел? Героем представиться?
What's up with this nonsense? Did you want to play hero?
Только вот не ведут себя так герои.
Heroes don't act like this.
И актер ты, Рома, липовый.
And boy, you're a poor actor, Roma.
Да этот очкарик.
Listen this, Four Eyes.
Во всем лучше тебя.
Is better than you in every way. She said that and did the most astonishing thing. She grabbed my hand.
Пойдем, Антон.
Let's go, Anton. We passed that stunned Romka. Polina told him off. Look at his face. He's literally just watching us in disbelief, like what just happened. I felt somewhat bad for him, but I also obviously felt immense joy. He didn't stop us, just stood there and stared into the growing blizzard. When we crossed the gates, I jumped up and exclaimed, "That was so cool." Polina flashed me an embarrassed
Ну,
smile.
знаешь, как дедушка говорит, с волками жить, по волчьи выть.
You know, as Grandpa always says, you live with wolves, you howl like one.
Он у тебя философ.
He sounds like a philosopher.
Краевед. Был раньше.
He's a local historian. At least he used to be.
Он уже давно на пенсии, а в последнее время ему серьезно не здоровится.
He's long retired, and lately he's not been feeling well. I gave her an empathetic nod. I kept sneaking glances at Polina. She was like a precious gem, its slides gleaming, shimmering, changing ever so slightly. What? Her eyes, full of innocent laughter, asked me. Nothing, I replied without
Ты
speaking.
храбрый. Мне нравится.
You're brave. I like it.
Храбрый?
I'm brave.
Стоял там.
I
язык
just stood there
проглотил.
dead silent.
Но стоял же, не сбежал.
True, but you didn't run.
Я до сих пор поражаюсь, как ты нашел в себе смелость послать, а тем более ударить Бабурина.
I'm still amazed that you found the courage to talk back, not to mention hit Baburin.
Ради тебя я готов на многое.
I'm willing to do a lot for you.
Вот, я же говорю.
See, I told you.
Изъясняешься словами из романов.
That expression was straight out of some novel.
Ради тебя, моя госпожа.
For you, I'd do anything, milady. Polina giggled. I fake pouted, but couldn't keep myself from smiling in the end. The village looked abandoned, desolate. Rickety fences, ravines full of garbage. This place probably looks nice in the summer since it's full of greenery, but during winter, under the icy crust, under the snowy blanket, dogs barked and clanged their chains behind the fences. But they grew quiet the moment we reached the next house.
Представь, что это призраки цепями звенят.
Try imagining that ghosts are clanging with those chains.
О, а я обожаю сказки про призраков. Дедушка часто мне их рассказывает.
Oh, I love ghost stories. Grandpa tells me them all the time. She stopped in front of a small but cozy-looking house with a small covered roof, then put her hand on the small gate, her eyes piercing me as if trying to peek into the depths of my soul.
Вот я все вспоминаю дедушку. Говорю, какой он хороший, заботливый, умный.
You see, I always mention how good, caring, and smart my grandpa is, but it's only half the truth.
В последнее время он немного...
Lately, he's been acting sort of... She paused, searching for the right words.
чудной. Да, пожалуй.
Funny? Yeah, that's it.
Стал таким с годами. Так что ничему не удивляйся.
He became like that as he aged. So please, try not to be surprised by him.
Так точно, ничему не удивляться.
Sir, yes, sir. No acting surprised.
Вольно!
At ease, soldier. That's so cool. We're going into Polina's house. We walked toward the house on a thin, cleaned path. Polina unlocked the door. The long hallway was full of shadows. The door slammed shut behind our backs, cutting us off from the roaring wind and all the other outside sounds. The place became so silent that I could hear Polina's heart beating. Sounds more like a drum, bum, bum, bum. I wanted to cover it with my hand and feel it with my palm, with my lifelines. Wow.
Ты всегда так застываешь?
I mean, it's nothing like super fancy, but it's just kind of cool. I mean, you see her little coat. She's got like some deer antlers and things like that. So her grandpa must have been a hunter. Oh, that's creepy. It looks like a bunny right there. That must have been where she was sitting when she was talking to Anton on the phone. She was right by the front door. Do you always freeze like this?
Как будто у тебя в голове стоп-кран нажали.
As if someone pulled an emergency brake in your head?
Фантазия рисует всякие картинки.
My imagination is running wild.
А, понимаю.
Ah, I see. She took off her coat and hanged it on a wall hook.
Раздевайся, разувайся.
Come on, take your stuff off.
Я пока в комнате приберусь.
I'll go clean up the room in the meantime.
Дедушка бывает вещи свои оставляет, где попало.
Grandpa always forgets his things everywhere.
Я быстро.
I'll be quick. Maybe he has Alzheimer's, because she said he always forgets his things. Maybe we'll be able to, interact with items in this room or something. She floated away light as a butterfly. Another butterfly, of a steel kind, had a real chance of floating inside my gut in the near future. I took off my coat, untied my shoelaces. A tiny squeak reached my ears. Wait. We can wait or we can interact with stuff. A pair of tourist skis. Dad told me stories of how he would make his own skis and ski poles, and even his own ski wax from beeswax, rosin, and pine resin. A good fit for the harsh winters around here, but these skis are in need of maintenance. The bindings are in bad condition, and they have dark red spots on them. Probably just rust. I don't get why adults hang something like this in their homes. Crooked, sharp outgrowths. I heard the animals don't get hurt when their horns that had already hardened get trimmed. Still, it's the same as plastering your wall with clipped fingernails. There are also cornified objects that were once part of a living organism. Yeah, I agree with that. What's that noise? That would be leaving. We don't want to leave. If one were to stand in front of the phone, the wallpaper patterns would look like a set of watchful eyes. So this is the place Polina called me from. She stood right here under the electric meter among the shadows, twirling the phone cord. Maybe she even played with the light switch, turning the lights off at times and speaking to me in the dark. Oh, I like the music on there. I know this painting. Paganini. The guy was so good at playing the violin that other people had decided he sold his soul to the devil. This portrait was drawn by Nikolai Fechin. He was a famous Russian painter that moved to America after the revolution and became famous there too. Wow, Paganini had such long fingers and such a piercing stare. What is he looking at? Maybe he did sell his soul after all. Would Polina sell hers, I wonder? I doubt it. The reflections in this mirror are so sharp and deep. My gaze drowns in it. What was that? It feels more like a doorway than a mirror, with an identical room with skis and sticky to the touch wallpaper behind it. And the electric meter, which barely worked during the last month, as if Polina and her grandpa spend their evening in complete darkness. And then... Phew, just a hunting trophy. Hoggers, you caught the hog. We got an achievement for that. So he freaking fell on us. Rude. I think that's all we can interact with. I looked into the deeper part of the house while taking off my boots. Semi-dark masked the corner at the end of the corridor. Something moved toward me, making the dry floorboard squeak. I wonder if it's her grandpa. The sound grew louder. I realized that I stepped back toward the door without thinking.
Полина!
A wheelchair appeared from around the corner. A stalking old man protruded from the darkness.
Ты, должно быть, одноклассник моей Полли.
You must be my Polina's classmate, right?
Да, Антон Петров.
Yes, my name's Anton Petrov. Oh, look at his smile. He kind of looks like Santa Claus. The beard, the little cheeks. Oh, he's so cute. We shook hands. His grip was surprisingly firm.
Очень приятно. Очень.
Good to meet you. Very good.
А я Харитон. Греческое имя значит «щедрый».
And I'm Carrington, a name of Greek origin. It means charitable.
А твое имя знаешь, что обозначает?
And do you know the meaning of your name?
Никогда не задумывался.
I've never thought about it.
От латинского «антео» — тот, кто вступает в бой.
It comes from Latin anteo, someone who goes into battle. I chuckled in reply. Apparently my name has brave roots.
А Полина?
Полина французского происхождения.
Polina is a name of French origin.
Если не ошибаюсь, солнечная.
If I remember correctly, it means sunlight. Of course! The sunlight, the enchanting views of France, the Parisian sky. All of that sounded like Polina.
Вы так много знаете об именах.
You know a lot about names.
Я каждой своей кукле особенное имя давал.
I gave all my dolls unique names.
Кукле?
Dolls?
Полина не рассказывала? Я же кукловодом работал при театре.
Haven't Polina told you? I used to work as a puppeteer in a theater.
Потом сторож с сигаретой тлеющей уснул, сам погиб, и театр сгорел до основания.
Then one day, a night guard fell asleep while smoking there. He died and the theater burned down.
Куклы мои сгорели.
All my dolls burned down.
Жаль.
What a shame. I was pretty sure that Polina told me her grandpa was a local historian. He squinted.
А знаешь ли ты, Петров Антон, что в старину у людей два имени было? Настоящее и то, что они называли незнакомцем.
And have you heard, Anton Petrov, that people in ages past used to have two names? Their true name and the one they shared with strangers.
Считалось, что подлинное имя, попав к нехорошим людям, могло обернуться против человека.
It was believed that if a person's true name ended up in the hands of bad people, it could spell disaster for its owner.
По имени насылали хвори и даже смерть.
Those names could be used to hex or even kill.
Ого.
Really?
Вот тебе и ого!
Yes, really.
И зверям имена придумывали не просто так.
And the names they gave to animals were also deliberate.
Заяц от литовского «зайсти», прыгун, то есть, а волк — старославянское «влек», тот, кто таскает.
Zayats comes from Zayasti, and Lithuanian a hopper, and Volk comes from Old Slavnik vlek, one who drags. Oh, I don't like that he sat up closer. Keratin drove closer and crossed his hands on his chest. I wondered to myself where Polina's parents were. She never spoke about her mom, only her grandpa. I decided to ask a question to continue the conversation.
А медведь?
And what about the bear?
О, имя медведя неизвестно.
Oh, the bear's name is still a mystery.
Наши предки так боялись этого зверя, что предпочли забыть слово, которым его величали.
Our ancestors were so afraid of that beast, they decided to forget the word they used to call it with.
Оно просто сгинуло из языка.
It just disappeared from their language.
Вместо него осталось более позднее прозвище.
We were left with much
«Ведущий
more
медом».
recent interpretation. One who oversees the honey.
Интересно.
Sounds interesting. Oh, look at his little smile. He's literally such a cute old man. The young man's smile became wider, revealing a stockade of metal implants. He raised his hand and waved it in the air like a rake that was scratching at empty space.
Скирлы, скирлы, скирлы.
Scratch, scratch, scratch. The squeaking sound made me shrink instinctively.
То я медведь на липовой ноге, на березовой клюке.
Here comes the bear on a fake hind leg with a long birch cane.
Все по селам спят, по деревням спят.
The whole village sleeps. All the peasants sleep.
Одна баба не спит, на моей коже сидит.
One old hag is awake, sitting on my skin.
Мою шерстку придет, мое мяско жрет.
Spinning my brown fur, feasting on my flesh. If this was what Polina warned me about, I had already broken my promise. It's not like I got surprised, more like I became seriously concerned.
По легенде, именно в нашей деревне приключилась эта страшная сказка, как и многие другие.
According to legends, that morbid tale happened right in our village, just like many others.
Вот, к примеру,
There's also this one.
в прошлом веке простому люду тяжко пришлось.
The previous century was tough on simple folk.
Денег у них тогда мало было, а еды и того меньше, точь-в-точь, как сейчас.
They had close to no money, and even less food, just like nowadays.
Подались тогда крестьяне разбойничать, тайгу обворовывать. Кто карася ухватит, а кто и гуся.
Peasants resorted to robbing, of the taiga that is. A crucian here, a goose there.
А главный егерь мало того, что не препятствовал, так еще в первых рядах браконьерствовал.
And the chief gamekeeper, not only didn't he prevent them from doing so, but he also spearheaded the poaching effort.
Самым зажиточным стал на селе. Погреб того и гляди лопнет.
He became the richest man in the village. His cellar was almost ready to burst.
Так и кричал егерь на всю округу: «Я в лесу хозяин!»
The gamekeeper boasted everywhere he went, "This forest is mine! I'm the master here!"
Обзавелся он, значит, семьей, слугами, да каким-никаким имением.
Then he formed a family, got himself a bunch of servants, and a humble estate.
И на радостях пир закатил горой аж до самой ночи. А как 12 пробило, собаки залаяли.
It was such a joyful occasion that he ordered a feast that spanned for the whole day, up until the night when the clock struck 12, though dogs started barking outside.
«Идите, — кричит егерь слугам, — собакам кости бросьте!»
Go! The game master shouted to his servants. Throw some bones to the dogs.
Через время в ворота застучали.
Time passed, and somebody knocked on his gate.
«Идите, — кричит семье, — гостей прогоните!»
Go! He shouted to his family. Chase away the guests.
Остался он за столом один. Никто воротиться не спешит.
He was left alone at the table. Not a single soul was coming back.
Слышит, собаки завыли и смолкли.
Then he heard the dogs howling, only to go silent again.
И тут со страшной силой в дверь забарабанили.
And then someone started banging on his door.
Бах, бах, бах!
Bam, bam, bam! I licked my parched lips and instinctively looked over the old man's shoulders, praying in my mind that Polina would come back soon and interrupt this eerie monologue. Yet only shadows wreathed behind Keratin's back.
Егерь от страха едва живой в погреб помчался.
The game master got scared to death and ran to the cellar.
Замком щелк. Вдруг голос из-за двери.
He slammed the lock shut. Then suddenly somebody spoke from the outside.
«Милый, это я, жена твоя. Отвори!»
Love, it's me, your wife. Open up.
«В жизнь не открою!»
No way, never.
Голос стал грубее, напористее.
The voice became harsher and more forceful.
«Изголодалась я, любимый, дай хоть чего-то из закромов!»
I'm starving, love. At least give me something from our supplies.
«Уйди, уйди, Христом заклинаю!» — закричал егерь и упал молиться.
Be gone in the name of the Lord, the game master shouted and fell to his knees in a prayer.
Тогда голос как гром грянул.
The next moment, the voice roared.
Целиком не выйдешь, хоть кусок мне отрежь.
If you won't come out in one piece, at least give me a slice.
Егерь вне себя от ужаса просидел в подвале до первых петухов.
The game master spent the rest of the night inside, trembling from fear.
А как показаться отважился, то нашел своих слуг и родных.
And when he gathered enough bravery to come out, he found his family and servants.
Повешенными на собственных кишках вдоль тракта.
Hanged on their own guts along the main road.
Глядь, а в имении уже дикие звери хозяйничают.
He saw the beast that we saw. Look, it's the owl, the fox, the bear. He's seen the same ones that we saw. In the blink of an eye, his manor became infested with wild beasts.
Потому что нету тайги границ. Она частично в нашем мире, отчасти там, где ночь никогда не кончается.
Because the taiga has no bounds. One part of it exists in our world, and the other in a place where night never ends.
Егерь пытался, сломя голову, бежать из проклятой деревни, но истинный хозяин леса настиг его в пути.
The game master tried to escape the accursed village, but the true forest master got to him in the end. I spoke in a shaky voice.
Что же с ним сделал этот хозяин леса?
And what did the forest master do to him? The old man tilted his head and burst out laughing.
Спроси лучше, чего он не сделал.
It's easier to name what he didn't do.
Антон!
The old man's eyes pinned me to the door leaf.
Антон, проходи в комнату!
Come on in, Anton. The old man stayed silent for a moment. Then he smiled as if nothing ever happened and rolled his wheelchair back.
Ну, заболтал я тебя. Ступай.
My, look at me talking your ear off. Go. Oh my gosh. I brushed off my stupor and minced across the corridor.
Приятно было познакомиться.
It was nice meeting you.
И мне, Петров Антон, и мне.
You too, Anton Petrov. You too. I felt relieved when I finally slipped into Polina's room. It looked just like its owner, cute and tidy. A huge collection of vinyl records and a record player immediately caught my attention. The walls were adorned by framed photographs.
Дедушка тебя не сильно донимал?
I hope Grandpa wasn't annoying you.
Нет, он очень интересный.
No, he's a very intriguing person.
Небось, ты теперь знаешь все о своем имени.
I bet you know everything about your name by now. I forced out a laugh. My eyes slid across the photos. Oh, we can look at stuff. That's really cool. A Cuzbass piano, not a speck of dust on the cover. This is the place where she practices. Let's see what pieces she has on her music sheets. Handel's Capriccio Sol Minor. Looks like the name of a pizza Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would eat. Meanwhile, I won't even be able to play a flea waltz. She has a kitty cat. Look at the cat. A Sailor Moon poster. This cartoon is for girls. Transformers are way better, and drawing them is much more interesting, especially when they transform when they change shape. Although if Polina has 2x2 channel on her TV and invites me to watch it together, I won't refuse. In the name of the moon, I shall punish you. A bit too old-fashioned, but I like it. Let's see what Polina has in her collection. Vinyl records from Olya, and some much rarer ones from Jugoton, a company in Yugoslavia. She even has some bone music, recordings made with an electro recorder over X-ray shots. The needle slides on the picture of someone's ribs, and you hear David playing a violin. Oh no. I just want to make sure I interact with absolutely everything we can before I click on what it wants us to click on. I think that's it.
А это твои родители?
Are these your parents? Polina looked down.
Да,
Yeah.
они погибли много лет назад. Я их практически не помню.
They died many years ago. I can barely remember them.
О,
I felt like a total idiot. I could have guessed Polina was an orphan.
мне очень жаль.
I'm so sorry.
Спасибо.
Thank you.
Дедушка воспитывал меня как родную дочь. Никогда не устану благодарить его.
Grandpa raised me as his own daughter. I'm forever grateful to him.
Представляю, каково тебе пришлось.
I can imagine how tough it was. Polina flashed me a sad smile and brushed off a mischievous lock of hair off her face.
Давай не будем о грустном.
Let's not talking about sad stuff.
Познакомься с Джоанной.
Meet Joanna instead. Look at her cat. Oh, cute. I bent down to take a better look at the cat that was snuggled up beside the radiator.
Привет, Джоанна.
Hi, Joanna. Sounds about cat. The cat hit her tail on the radiator's fins, then hissed, showing her fangs.
Прости, она не особо дружелюбна.
I'm sorry, she's not exactly friendly.
К такой реакции я привык.
I'm used to this kind of reaction.
Что за имя, Джоанна?
What's with the name Joanna?
Тебе не надоело говорить про имена?
Still not tired of talking about names?
Джоанна из сериала «Элена, ребята». Смотрел?
Joanna is from Helen and the Boys. Have you seen it? I
Это
snorted.
для девочек.
That's a show for girls.
Ой, подумаешь. Я вот и трансформеров смотрю.
Oh, come on. I, for one, watched the Transformers too.
Да ладно, кто твой любимчик?
Really now? And who's your favorite?
Ты меня проверяешь? Допустим, Мегатрон.
Is this a test? Well, let's say it's Megatron.
Ага. А говорила, что не любишь плохих парней.
Didn't you say you dislike bad guys?
Да, но вот ему удалось растопить мое сердечко.
I do, but he alone was able to thaw my heart. Polina grabbed at her chest in a comical manner. Polina sat down on the couch and fixed the bedspread.
Чем займемся?
So, what are we gonna do? Her pose and playful gaze hypnotized me. Dimmed lights helped create a special, exciting atmosphere inside the room. I felt a faint aroma of blackberry, but also something more elusive and captivating. At that moment, my usual embarrassment suddenly morphed in some unexplainable vigor. I wanted to show off and brag, to do everything in my power to keep Polina's gaze fixed on me for as long as possible. I imagined myself be like Agent 007, ready to seduce another femme fatale with his stunning looks. As if mimicking the hero of spy action movies, I crossed my arms on my chest and, with a mysterious smile on my face, decided to lean against the wall. I thought myself to be quite charming at that particular moment. Yet a clinking sound stopped me from enjoying this graceful pose. I failed to notice an open piano and sat down right in the middle of its keys. I had lost all of my charms after almost reaching the ceiling in one scared jump, followed by the instrument's lid slamming shut with a bang. At the same time, a frightened Joanna jumped off the chair. The cat rushed up the curtain and then dashed across the wall to the safety of the wardrobe's top, ripping out thin slices of wallpaper along the way. Pieces of a torn-up Sailor Moon poster that, by pure chance, happened to be in the way of the scared animal, fell to my feet. Judging from the look on Polina's face, she really liked that poster.
Прости, я не хотел.
Sorry, it was an accident. She closed her eyes, her lips twisted and forehead wrinkled. It seemed like Polina was about to scream or cry, but she just sighed and spoke in a calm voice.
Не беда.
It's okay.
Нет такой поломки, которую нельзя починить с помощью изоленты.
There's nothing that can't be fixed with electric tape.
Ну, в этом случае с помощью скотча.
Well, duct tape in our case.
Давай, помогай.
Give me a hand here. Do we get to do it? Oh, we get to do it. That's cool. Oh, that's really neat. I like that. This is clearly the corner. Oh, I love puzzles. Let me see. 07. I wonder if this is... Oh, this is part of her face. Part of her face. I wonder if we should do her face first. I feel like this part goes together. Oh, that goes there for sure. We're not ready for this piece yet. Let me see. Not ready for that piece yet. Here's an eyeball. Oh, I see. This is gonna go here. Okay, we're gonna finish off her skirt. Cute. We finished off her skirt. Trying to think, where does this fit in? There must be another... Let me think. Oh, this. Aha! This is in the wrong spot. I'm not quite sure where it goes yet. My face cam is kind of in the way. We'll go here. We've almost got it. Okay, this is the last piece. Ah, we got it. The last piece fell in its place, and it seemed like the room's harmony was restored along with the poster.
Это же персонаж из Sailor Moon? Sailor Юпитер или как там ее?
This is a character for Sailor Moon, right? Sailor Jupiter, I think?
Да нет же, это Сейлор Сатурн.
No way. This is Sailor Saturn.
Ее зовут Хатару. Она воин разрушения, который вместо того, чтобы уничтожить мир, спасла его.
Her name is Hataru. She is a warrior of destruction. Yet instead of destroying the world, she ended up saving it.
Мне она всегда больше всех нравилась.
I've always liked her the most.
Вот. А еще у нее раздвоение личности, представляешь?
Oh, and she also has 2 different personalities in her. Can you imagine?
По крайней мере, было. Джоанна порвала ее на дюжину личностей, не меньше.
She had at the very least. Joanna ripped her into at least a dozen more. I glanced at Polina and inquired in a soft voice.
Расскажи, как проходят твои вечера.
How do you usually spend your evenings? Polina shrugged and looked at me as if bored.
Смотрю телевизор или играю дедушке на скрипке.
I watch TV or play violin for Grandpa.
Он планирует сделать из меня Давида Ойстраха.
He wants to make me into a new David Ostraka.
Кого?
David who?
Скрипач был такой великий.
He was a famous violinist.
А ты что же, сама не хочешь играть?
So he's forcing you to play?
Почему? Хочу.
Forcing me? Nothing of the sort.
Это мой шанс уехать в город и начать нормальную жизнь.
This is my chance to move to a big city and lead a better life.
Гастролировать по странам, знакомиться с новыми людьми.
Touring different countries, meeting new people. I felt a sting of stupid jealousy from her words.
Поиграешь для меня?
Can you play something for me?
Ты точно этого хочешь?
Are you sure?
Очень.
Of course.
Хорошо. Только учти, я сегодня не в форме.
All right, but keep in mind I'm a bit under the weather today. She procured the violin from its case. The polished frame glimmered in the lamplight.
Это необычная скрипка.
This is not an ordinary violin.
Ее смастерил в 17 веке скрипичных дел мастер Гварнери, а сам Ойстрах дал на ней первый концерт.
It was made in the 17th century by a violin artisan named Gennari Ostraka. He used it for his first concerts.
Она дорогая.
Is it expensive?
Ну, пару миллионов долларов стоит.
It's worth at least a couple $1 million. My jaw dropped. Polina replied with laughter.
Видел бы ты свое лицо.
I wish you could see your face right now.
Я шучу. Копейки она стоит.
I'm joking, it's dirt cheap.
Если бы у меня была скрипка Гварнери, я бы жила в Москве.
If I had one of Gennari's violins, I would have lived in Moscow.
А я и не повелся.
Hey, I knew you were joking.
Конечно, конечно.
Sure. Polina took a proper playing pose, clutching the violin between her shoulder and jaw, then brought the bow to the string.
Фа диез минор.
The bow slid across the strings, saturating the air inside the room with music. I sat on the windowsill amazed at the melody's power. Polina looked so graceful while playing. Her bow soared, it cut open space-time. Her slender fingers moved with inhuman speed, a phantom smile smothered on the girl's lips. It felt like the music, that mysterious fa diez minor, was akin to a gust of wind that found its way inside the house, bringing along smells of the sea and faraway cities. And every new gust made it even more difficult to breathe for my enthralled self. The melody carried me to the skies, bringing back memories of the night when I was jumping over the forest. But just like everything good, it ended way too fast. Polina froze for a moment, then lowered her hand and bowed. The waterfall of her fragrant hair swayed back and forth. I jumped, clapping.
Браво! Кто это сочинил?
Bravo! Who composed this?
Роберт Шуман.
А вот кто теперь мой любимый композитор.
He couldn't say it. I cannot believe it. I'm trying so hard to say these words. Hang on a second. This is Polina talking, not Anton. I have a new favorite composer now, brah.
Во.
The second syllable turned into an incredulous cry when someone wailed under my foot. Joanna. I forgot all about the cat and all my excitement, ended up stepping on her tail. She didn't give me the time to apologize. Joanna crawled up my leg and clung to my thigh. Her sharp claws pierced my skin through the pants. Polina came to our rescue by slapping the cat on the back of the head. Man, I wish I showed her do that.
Джоанна, гадость какая, брысь!
The cat jumped on the wall rug and retreated from the room after opening the door with her paw. I winced when touching my thigh. It was probably quite scratched up. Polina gave me a sympathetic hug. Aww.
Больно?
Does it hurt?
Да так, я сам виноват.
Not really. It was all my fault.
Ой, я ей покажу, как бросаться на моих гостей.
I'll show her what attacking my guests entails. Oh man, look at his bantling. I was worried less about the pain and more about the damage done to my clothes. My pants were ribbled with tiny holes. Well, Mom sure will be happy about this. At the same time, Polina's attention was flattering.
Твоя Джанна — дама с характером.
Your Joanna is quite a strong lady.
Вы поладите.
You'll get along.
Если ты не умрешь от потери крови, конечно.
If you don't bleed out on me, of course. She turned around and searched the room with her eyes.
Где-то тут был йод.
I thought we had iodine around here.
Не обязательно.
Oh, don't worry.
Что значит не обязательно?
What do you mean?
Еще никто не умирал в моей спальне. И я хочу, чтобы так продолжалось впредь.
Nobody had ever died in my bedroom before. I'd prefer to keep it that way.
Снимай пока штаны.
For now, take off your pants. Oh. I imagine myself standing in front of Polina in just my underwear. I imagine her bending down to treat my wounds. That fantasy scalded in my mind like hot steam.
Не надо, Полин, ну правда.
Please, let's not do it, Polina. Look at her. Oh my gosh, she didn't listen. She soaked a piece of cotton in a brownish liquid from a small, strong-smelling bottle.
Пациент, я готова. Спускайте.
Oh my god, that is hilarious. I'm ready, patient. Pull them down.
Серьезно, дома промою.
Come on, I'll rinse it when I get home. My reply erased the smile from her beautiful lips. A horizontal wrinkle ran across her nose bridge. She spoke in a voice with a tinge of capriciousness.
Перестань сопротивляться. Дай я тебе помогу.
Stop resisting. Let me help you. She rubbed my leg lower than where my wound was.
Девочкам нельзя отказывать.
You can't reject girls like that. Polina took a bold step toward me and grabbed the buckle of my pant belt. I tried dodging, but to no avail. The girl was already behind me. She placed her fingers under the belt and tried to pull down my pants.
Ах ты ж...
Oh, no, you don't! She giggled.
А?
I spun around and Polina pressed her body into mine, bursting with laughter. She sank her teeth into my arm ever so slightly and tugged on the belt. I stepped back, stumbled upon the couch, and ended up sprawled on its soft surface. Polina landed on top of me. Her hair covered my face and tickled my nostrils. I felt the vibrations coming from Polina's chest. She was laughing. I also felt the chilly draft with the exposed skin on my thighs. She managed to pull down my pants after all. I lay underneath her partially naked, dying from embarrassment. Polina pulled away. Her laughter died down. She blew a lock of hair away from her face and looked me straight in the eye, then pressed her small fist into her cheek and measured my face with a thoughtful glance.
Ты чего?
Is there something on my face?
Ничего. Красивый ты.
Aww. No, but you're very handsome.
Скажешь тоже.
That's not true.
Честно-честно.
But you are, honest.
И знаешь, мне кажется, что я все эти годы ждала, когда ты в поселок приедешь.
And you know I've been waiting for you to appear in the village for all these years. My heart was thumping in a crazy rhythm. I felt it under my ribs, in my temples, all over my body. I completely forgot that I was lying underneath her without my pants on, rubbing my bare thigh against her
Мне
leg.
хорошо с тобой.
I really like your company.
И мне.
I like you too.
Я встретила человека, который меня понимает.
I finally met someone who understands me.
Это дороже скрипки Гварнери.
This is more valuable than Canary violin. I shifted my gaze to her lips. They were so close that I could even see the tiniest of wrinkles on their surface, just as parched as my own lips. Can we? Polina lowered her eyelids. Eyelashes fluttered. Our lips touched. I felt dizzy as if I was falling into a bottomless pit. I think her grandpa's gonna come in and he's gonna be livid because this looks wrong, of course. Every cell in my body sang in jubilation as if I was getting a taste of the most beautiful music, something even more perfect than Shaman's melody. And then I looked in the mirror, mounted on the wardrobe's door. It reflected a half-open door and the corridor's gut. Ooh, why is he looking like that? Ugh. Keratin was peeping at us through the crack. His grim face floated in the black waters of darkness. His eyes pierced me much deeper and angrier than feline claws. After getting his cover blown, the old man drove back away from the door and dissolved into the tarry shadows. Wow, so I mean, he didn't even care. I parted my lips from Polina's distraught. I had to interrupt our sweet kiss. Polina gave me a questioning look and spoke in a frustrated voice.
В чем дело?
What's wrong? I untangled myself from her, stood up, trying to put my pants back on, and fastened a belt on my third attempt.
Ни в чем.
Nothing.
Я вспомнил просто. Пообещал маме вернуться к ужину.
I just remember I promised Mom to return home before dinner.
Не уходи.
Don't go.
Полин, послушай.
Polina, listen.
Не уходи, Тош.
Don't go, Tosha. Aww. Her voice trembled. Silvery streams ran down her cheeks. I was taken completely by surprise. Polina's mood shifted in an instant, just like topics in her grandpa's monologue. Still, her grandpa was old and weird, and she...
Забери меня с собой.
Does he hurt her? Take me with you.
Ты чего, Полин? Ну перестань.
What happened, Polina? Please, stop it. I leaned into her, worried.
Хватит, правда. Все же хорошо.
Come, calm down, it's okay.
Я здесь с ума сойду. Не знаю, руки на себя наложу.
I'm going mad here. I don't know. I'll off myself.
Не говори так.
Don't say that. She plopped on the bed, face in her hands. Sobs turned into stifled cries. I shuffled my feet, puzzled, with no idea how to react.
Давай сбежим. Завтра же соберем вещи и уедем в город.
Let's run away together. We'll gather our things tomorrow and go to the city.
Нам по 12 лет.
We're both just 12.
Что?
And
Тебе нравится жить в хибаре у леса?
do you enjoy living in a wooden shack at the edge of the forest?
Мне, думаешь, по нраву гнить, заточенный в 4 стенах?
Do you think I enjoy running away cooped up inside? Her back arched. Her small fist pummeled the couch.
Если ты мужчина, уведи меня из этого места.
If you're a man, take me away from this place. You need to leave, my inner voice blurted out. I couldn't help but agree.
Тебе надо отдохнуть. Поговорим позже.
Oh, man, I wish it... Please give me a choice. Please give me a choice here. I'm sorry, you need to rest. Let's talk later. I went into the corridor, mumbling. I might have acted like a coward, but I couldn't handle her fit of hysteria anymore. I put on my coat, shoved my feet down my boots. He's coming back. I stared at the darkness, imagining a man eating a bear. A man-eating bear. I could hear Polina's cries coming from the other side of the wall while something was squeaking its way toward me. The wheelchair stopped 7 feet on the border between light and darkness.
Уходишь? Так быстро?
Leaving so soon? I replied in a mumbled voice while tying my shoes.
Простите, мама будет беспокоиться.
Sorry, my mom will get worried.
Знаешь настоящее имя своей матери? Петров Антон.
Do you know your mother's true name, Anton Petrov? Shadows swirled behind Carrington. I craved to leave this eerie place as soon as
Нет,
possible.
простите.
No, I'm sorry. I started apologizing left and right, anxious.
Почему плачет Полина? Что случилось?
Why is Polina crying? What happened? Metal teeth shined in the dark.
Пойдем на кухню. Чай пить будем.
Let's go to the kitchen. Tea is ready.
Я тортик разрезал.
I've already cut up the cake.
Меня ждут.
Mom is waiting for me.
Подождут и перестанут. Ну, пойдем, пойдем.
It's okay. She can wait a bit longer. Come.
Ха.
He let out a dissatisfied sob. I finally managed to fix his shoelaces, so I sprang to my feet. The old man kept a strenuous smile on his face. I turned my back on him. My fingers struggled with the lock.
Скерли!
I'll be forced to stay, driven over by a wheelchair, dragged away.
Скерли!
The door opened, letting chilly air inside the stuffy corridor.
Твое настоящее имя?
What's your true name?
До свидания.
Goodbye. And he's leaving? That's probably why Polina didn't want him to leave. Oh my gosh. I flew to the porch, to the trail that snaked between the houses. While I was at Polina's place, darkness had shrouded the village with its crow-like wings. The howling wind made it feel alive, conscious. Lamplights firmly embedded into the night emanated a faint glow. I wiped my forehead. What was that? Why did Polina throw such a tantrum? And the old man who was peeping at us. No wonder she wanted to run away so badly. As soon as I remembered Carrington's metal teeth, goosebumps started running all over my skin. Hey! I shuddered and looked around. A fuzzy silhouette appeared near the
Кто
fence.
здесь?
Who's there? It's Ramka. A person stepped toward me into the ring of light. My soul almost left my body. I recognized Ramka. Is he... Is he crying? His cheeks were wet and his eyes reddened. He cried while hiding in the dark.
Привет.
Well, hello there.
Разве я не предупреждал тебя, а?
I warned you, didn't I?
Разве не говорил, что убью, если увижу рядом с ней?
I said you'd be dead if I ever saw you near her again, didn't I? I heard a click, saw the shine of a butterfly knife. Roma's bloodless lips stretched into a scary grimace. His pupils glinted like a pair of coins.
Ром, убери нож.
Roma, put away the knife.
Думаешь, я псих? Я покажу тебе, что делают психи.
Think I'm crazy? I'll show you crazy.
Рома,
Roma! I backtracked, afraid of turning my defenseless shoulder blades toward him. Roma advanced toward me, scowling.
Жалкий ублюдок.
You scum! White bubbles formed at the edges of his mouth. He wiped his face with a jerky motion, smearing the tears all over his cheeks even more. His eyes glazed over with the fog of hatred. The claw amulet I got from Polina saved me once again. I felt like time ground toward a hole, and both Ramka with his dangerous knife and I were frozen in it like insects inside an amber shard. Run, my inner voice signaled to me. Save your skin.
Жалкий грязный ублюдок.
Pathetic, filthy scum! And then he howled. He heard his despaired voice upward toward the stars. Ramka put the knife handle in his mouth like a cigar, clutched it in his teeth. The blade pointed outward like a steel claw. Then he fell on all fours. His shadow took on the shape of an angry beast. Saliva dripped to the snow. Ramka went completely mad. He roared and lunged at me, using all fours of his limbs to jump. Run. I ran without looking. My boots sank in the snow. The wooden fence flew past me. The noise was so overwhelming that I felt like some beast, and not a boy my age, was chasing me. A horrifyingly huge beast. The wind whipped my face, stinging it like nettle leaves. I was suffocating. A tractor stood around the corner, but I couldn't see its driver anywhere. Something agile jumped over the trail and landed some distance away from me. The snowy barricade stood in my way. I climbed it, slid down, and rushed into the back alley. Lamplight shimmered in a panic. I noticed the village shop and ran toward it. Then grabbed the doorknob. Locked! The back alley was reflected on the window. Something huge and terrifying was closing in on me from its depths, shrouded in a snowstorm akin to a burial gown. I ran to the cleared-out strip of asphalt. The dogs in the front yard didn't bark. They just whimpered sheepishly. I turned around the last house and ran out of the village. The forest towered over me like a giant black monolith. I had a choice. Either I run to the clearing where I'll be a sitting duck, or I'll run straight through the forest with its windfall and ravines. I chose the second option. I jumped to the side. My legs slipped on a patch of ice. I fell into a ravine. Convulsing, I struggled to turn on my back and started crawling away, expecting Ramka to appear at the top at any moment. An inhuman roar swept across the village, drilling into my ears. A minute passed. Then another one. I trembled, staring at the ravine's edge, into the inky brushstrokes of pine. Oh gosh, look who it is. Into the approaching shadow. The boy in a wolf's mask appeared from the forest and stopped in front of me. Wait, did he hurt Ramka? Friend. He unclenched his fist and a butterfly knife fell to the snow.
Тебе ничего не угрожает. Мы же говорили.
You're safe. We told you. Remember? I stood up, barely able to believe my eyes. The wolf boar waved his hand toward the clearing.
Всё в порядке. Иди.
It's all right. Go. I was too scared to ask questions. So I walked away in silence, stumbling among the swaying trees, trying to think about the lumps of darkness that were seeing me off hiding in the bushes. At that moment, I had no idea what was actually waiting for me. Ooh, I got a survivor. You escaped from Ramka. I had no idea what was actually waiting for me in the place I mistakenly called home. The front door was open and swayed slightly in the wind. It felt like my skin was getting covered in rime. I clenched my fists. Darkness oozed into the hallway, and snowflakes floated inside along with it, landing softly on the rug, like a pack of vultures that sensed their food. I stepped into the doorway with utmost caution. For a moment, I thought I heard someone talking in the kitchen, but it turned out to be a radio broadcast.
Циклон, о котором мы предупреждали, движется к региону. Завтра синоптики обещают ветер с порывами до 15 метров.
The previously mentioned cyclone is getting even close to the region. The official forecast for tomorrow suggests gusts of wind reaching up to 70 kilometers per hour.
МЧС призвала жителей соблюдать меры предосторожности. Дороги перекрыты. Холодная воздушная масса арктического происхождения несет с собой буран.
Emmercom of Russia has called on all citizens to exercise extreme caution. The roads are closed off. The cold air streams coming from the Arctic are bringing massive blizzards. I heard voices coming from the upper floor, too. The staircase let out a long squeak. I took one step, yet my heart managed to beat 6 or 7 times in the meantime. The door to my parents' bedroom was ajar. A shadow play unfolded inside a light spot. Black silhouettes were performing a dance of hatred. Mom hissed at Dad, her wrists flying toward the ceiling, and he towered over her, his hands crossed on his huge chest.
Мы все в опасности. И все из-за тебя.
We're all in danger, and it's all your fault.
И не ври, ты видела его в поселке.
And stop lying, you saw him in the village.
Он вычислил, где мы живем.
He found out where we live. It wasn't him.
Я читала в газетах, на что способны твои дружки.
I've read about the things your buddies are capable of in the newspaper. I ran toward my bedroom. My parents were in the middle of another quarrel where they showered each other with mutual accusations. Dad let out a low beast-like roar.
Пусть они прекратят.
Make them stop! Olya stood in the corridor, pressing her little palms against her ears. I chased her with the illusion where my sister was getting stabbed to death by Ramka for my sins. Her face, swollen from crying, made my skin freeze, and almost managed to push the image of old Carrington smirking and Ramka jumping on all fours out of my mind.
Что случилось?
What happened?
Они разведутся.
They're going to divorce. I hugged my sister and held her tight. My tongue refused to listen to my commands, to look for excuses. It felt like the screams were coming from every direction, right and left, up and down, splitting my head apart. Swear words rained down on us, and we covered our heads with our hands like refugees running from a bombing.
Я хочу уйти.
I want to escape.
Свою комнату.
To your room?
Нет. Дальше.
No, far away.
Отведи меня в Небыляндию. Ты обещал.
Lead me to Neverland, you promised. I carefully unglued Olya's hands from her ears and led her away from the room with her parents, which was vibrating with malice.
Из-за тебя!
Your fault. From whom? Your own and only your own. I would never. In moments like this, I despised them more than they despised each other. I bolted down the door to my room and leaned against it. My knees gave way.
Почему тебя не было так долго?
Why were you out for so
Я
long?
был в гостях у одних странных
I
людей.
went to visit some weird people.
Они тоже разводятся?
Are they also getting divorced?
Не думаю.
I don't think so. Something hit the window's ledge on the outside. Olya shuddered and shifted her gaze toward it. Bam! Another snowball smacked into the window's frame.
Ты ждешь кого-то?
Were you expecting someone? I didn't reply. Instead, I let go of her wrist. Olya wept in fear. I feel like it's Alisa, but I really hope it's Polina. I crossed the room, wincing from every shout coming from my parents. I could hear plates getting smashed now. They must have moved their argument to the kitchen. I don't know if I can interact with anything else. Can I? I don't think so. Oh, it's all 4 of them. I flung the curtains and the window open. Hootie, Teddy, Wolfie, and most importantly, the charming Alisa stood outside waving at us. Olya gasped in surprise when she saw the owl girl.
Я же говорила!
See, I told
Я
you.
знаю, я тебе всегда верил.
Yeah, I know. I always believed you.
Кто они?
Who are they? Her fearful voice also had some curiosity mixed in.
Чтобы в такую погоду дома сидеть, надо быть очень скучными детьми.
Only the most boring children sit at home in weather like this. We still have so many games to play. Ooh.
Давайте только не во все игры играть, а то у меня лапка болит.
But let's not play all of them. My paws hurt.
По чуть-чуть. И потом отдохнем.
We play a little, then rest. Friends.
Выходите скорее, играть и танцевать.
Come on, come out to play and dance. My heart started beating faster as soon as I saw Alisa, and my inner voice practically screamed, "She's here! She's finally here!"
Они знают, как попасть в Небыляндию?
Do they know the way to Neverland? I entertained that possibility, looking at the animal kids.
Может быть, пойдем и узнаем.
Maybe. Let's go find out. Will we be able to escape, though, if our parents are in the kitchen? The silhouettes of my forest friends promised to free us from sadness, anger, and nightly horrors. I made sure that Olya wore warm clothes. Mom barked at Dad like a wild beast from that show. We sneaked past the rumbling kitchen and into the snowfall outside. Alisa ran up to me and hugged me tight, poking her cold nose into my neck.
Как же долго!
You took so long.
Пока мы вас домоседов ждали, то чуть не состарились.
We almost got a cold waiting for you, Shut-in. She pressed her body into me even harder.
Оказывается, ждать так утомительно.
Turns out waiting is so tiring.
Фу, дайте хоть минуточку в себя прийти.
Phew, give me a minute to catch my breath.
Однажды я тоже долго собиралась. А когда закончила, то и вовсе забыла, куда.
I was preparing to leave for a long time once, hoot-hoot. And when I was done, I forgot where I was supposed to go. Olya looked at the owl with suspicion, but she still giggled when the bird did a backflip and landed perfectly on her feet without staggering. All the other animals, as if on cue, stopped fooling around and stared at Olya in amazement.
Та девочка, что не хотела со мной дружить.
That's the girl who didn't want to be friends.
Меня зовут Оля.
My name is Olya.
Раньше я просто тебя боялась.
I was afraid of you before.
Тебя испугала наша совушка?
Were you afraid of our Hootie?
Может быть, у нее совофобия?
Maybe she has owl phobia.
А это лечится?
How can you cure that?
Главное, чтобы ребенок не боялся веселиться.
It doesn't matter as long as she's not afraid of having fun.
Иначе с нами можно умереть от страха.
Or she might get scared to death with us. I was stunned at the realization that my lips were slowly forming a smile. And that's after everything I saw while at Polina's house. Every time I met Alisa, I felt like I crossed a river, and the sound of flowing water suppressed all of my negative thoughts.
Какие у вас красивые костюмы!
Your costumes are so pretty. The fox girl let go of me and squatted beside Olya.
О, какая очаровашка!
My, what a cutie.
Антоша, почему ты прятал от нас это милое создание раньше?
Why did you hide such a cute creature from us before? I glanced at the house, worried that our parents might have seen us and were about to ruin our fun like they always do. Then hugged my sister and replied,
Давайте отойдем подальше.
Let's go farther away from here.
Запросто.
Sure thing.
Оля, а ты знаешь, как найти в нашем лесу Деда Мороза?
Hey, Olya, do you know how to find Grandpa Frost in our forest? My little sister's eyes widened.
Как?
How?
Нужно идти по сладкой тропинке.
You need to follow the sweet trail. Alisa bent down and took a candy out of the snow. Olya raised her hands in amazement. She gave me an inquiring look. I nodded. My sister munched on the candy.
У нас что, в лесу завелся Дед Мороз?
Wait, do we hoo-hoo have Grandpa Frost in our forest?
Почему? Ты мне не рассказывала.
Why, Hoot Hoot, didn't you tell me?
Я рассказывала. Сегодня днем.
I did, this afternoon.
Но ведь днем я сплю.
But I sleep during the day.
Ага. Вот я и рассказывала, пока ты спала.
Right, I told you you were sleeping. I remembered Rompka while listening to their childish conversation. How he screamed at the top of his lungs while chasing me, mere minutes before Wolfie appeared.
Что случилось с Ромкой?
What happened to Romka?
Поверь, он в порядке.
He's all right, trust me.
Жив-здоров твой Ромка.
Your Romka is safe and sound.
Только такой вредина, как он,
But a bad boy like him is
Деда
unlikely to
Мороза
get a
подарок.
present from Grandpa Frost.
Максимум горсть угля.
He'll get a handful of coal at best.
Ну или по шапке.
Or his ass whooped. Teddy shook his bandaged paw in a comically threatening manner, and the animal kids all burst out laughing in unison. The anxiousness I felt a moment ago now felt fleeting distant. The way her eyes just like go away is so creepy. Alisa dashed away, wiggling her red tail like a torch's flame. Olya went after her without thinking, and I laughed after taking another candy out of a snow pile.
Вы такие бодрые. На вас аж смотреть противно.
You're so lively, it makes me sick to the stomach.
А ты давай не зевай.
And you stop being so passive.
Лучше беги с нами к Деду Морозу, пока все подарки не разобрали.
Run with us to Grandpa Frost while there are still presents left.
Скажешь тоже.
No way.
Скорее уж мне на голову свалится 3 кило конфет, чем я поверю в байки лисицы.
I won't believe the fox's tales unless 10 pounds of sweets drop on my head right now.
Ой.
When the aforementioned sweets started raining down on the bear's head, I couldn't stop myself from laughing at him ouching and bobbing his head up and down. Tasty treats glistened to the snow. Teddy sneezed and pulled a little bear in the north candy out of his ear.
Я бы вздремнул часок, а уж потом пересчитал все эти шоколадки.
I'd take an hour-long nap and then count all of these chocolates.
У меня такое подозрение, что тут не больше килограмма.
I suspect there are no more than 3 pounds here. Alisa shouted at us from the other side of the forest.
Не в этой жизни!
Maybe in another life.
Давайте скорее!
Hurry up, Grandpa Frost is already tired of waiting for you in his castle. I shrugged and ran. Running loosened the grip of fear I felt all this time. Something round whizzed past my temple. I decided it was a snowball, but then Olya proclaimed,
Зефир!
Не подбирай, он испачкался.
Don't pick it up, it's dirty.
Ты что, веришь в микробов?
Huh? Do you believe in microbes?
А ты нет?
And you don't?
Раньше верила.
I used to. Graceful rows of colossal pines greeted us with their rustling paws. Snow drifted upward into the endless black sky just like last time. Snow piles lighted up like melted silver.
Как же красиво!
So pretty!
Думала, в лесу
And I thought the forest was scary.
Нас родители пугали лесом, снегом и совой.
Parents told us scary stories of the forest, owl, and snow.
Ну а мы с собой играли в снежной чаще под луной.
But we weren't one bit worried, playing with her when moons glow. I did my best to keep track of Olya's movement, but it was a difficult task. My sister would jump inside bushes, picking up more candy, only to then get back to the trail laughing. Hootie flew over our heads, landed on a branch, and started hooting and shaking her head. Wolfie dug into the snow with his face, dragged out of a pile of bubblegum, and swallowed it without taking off the wrapping.
У тебя будет несварение.
Your tummy will hurt! The wolf got scared and spat out the gumball.
Враки, злые собаки.
Lies, lies, nasty flies.
Нет никаких несварений.
Tummy aches don't exist.
Вся эта чушь.
All that nonsense only happens to grown-ups. Alyssa stopped in her tracks and moved a canopy of intertwined branches to the side in a pompous manner, like you would open the curtains in a theater. Behind that obstacle lay a clearing. There stood an ice castle glistening with silver.
О, это все взаправду?
Is this real?
Щипнуть тебя.
Should I pinch you?
Не надо ее щипать.
There's no need to pinch her. We stared at the sparkling miracle. Its towers and walls were made out of snow and icy marble. I heard a calming sound of ringing little bells. There was also the smell of chocolate and burnt sugar in the air.
Милости прошу к нашему шалашу.
Welcome to our humble abode. Come on in. She didn't have to invite us twice. We entered the castle, spinning around and squinting from the blinding sparkles. Grandpa Frost sat atop a shiny throne. Puffy Pom-Pom swung atop the two peaks of his hat. A snow-white beard covered his kind smile. He looked just like I imagined him back in the day when I still believed in Mom's fairy tales. Tall, strong, and hairy, radiating frost and warmth at the same time. And his voice, low and syrupy, enveloped me like the smoke of a festive bonfire.
Антон и Ольга.
Ох, и намучились же вы, ребятки, пока сюда добирались.
You probably got tired while getting here, my dear children.
Что ты, дедушка? Мы быстро дошли.
Oh no, Grandpa, we got here really fast. My sister spoke with the castle's master like she never spoke with adults, in a lively, carefree manner, as if they were the same age.
Знаю, все знаю.
Of course, I know all about you.
Мне мои друзья докладывают.
I have a lot of friends. They tell me everything.
Кто был покладистым весь год, того подарок утром ждет.
If you're diligent all year, I will bring you gifts, my dear.
А кто ленился и грустил, пускай он дедушку простит.
If you're lazy and upset, please forgive this kind old man.
Лентяем и грустяем конфет не запасаем.
Candy won't encounter lazy bones and downers.
А я не ленилась.
I'm not lazy.
И о том знаю.
This too I know. He gave us a long, evaluating look. His real face was hidden under the Grandpa Frost mask. I was just standing there, unblinking, my gaze glued to the old man. I could accept children living in the forest and fantastical jumps toward the moon, but seeing Grandpa Frost and his frozen castle left me completely speechless.
Есть у меня для вас кое-что особенное.
I have something special for you two. A sack appeared in his giant hand. My nostrils got attacked by the aroma of cocoa, halva, and tangerines.
Спасибо, но мы уже ели конфеты.
Thank you, but we've already had enough candy. Grandpa Frost pierced me with his eyes.
Разве то конфеты были? Так, одно название.
Oh, you call that candy? That was nothing.
Вот у меня конфеты волшебные, прямиком из Небыляндии привезенные.
My candy is special, straight from Neverland.
Из Небыляндии?
From Neverland?
Сразу бы вам их дал. Заслужили.
I'd give them to you right away. You clearly deserve them.
Но есть правила.
But rules are rules.
Надобно вам 3 дедушкины загадки отгадать. Попробуйте.
You need to solve 3 of Grandpa's riddles. Want to try? I tried splitting my parched lips apart, but Olya was the first to reply.
Да!
Yeah!
Тогда слушайте первую.
Here comes the first
В
one.
нем живут машины и хранятся шины.
It's a home for cars and all sorts of tires. I looked around at the math children. They stood without moving in the corners, but their shadows danced on the walls. I heard a low hum, and in my confusion, I thought it was the sound of their rumbling stomachs.
Гараж!
A garage!
Верно.
Correct.
Теперь вторая загадка. Подключайся, Антон.
Now on to the second one. You try to solve it too, Anton.
Весь день ходит, как тень, посудой гремит, на всех шипит.
All day long, to the shadows they belong. They rattle the plates and hiss at their mates. My eyebrows shut up in confusion.
Mama?
Moms? Olya raised her hand.
Можно я?
Can I? Can I?
Это кошка!
It's a kitty!
Верно! Хо-хо! Осталась последняя загадка и подарки ваши.
Correct! Ho, 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 ho. Here's the last one. Solve it and the gifts are yours. Oh, but what a stroke of bad luck, my dear children.
Запамятовал я, о чем же была эта загадка.
I completely forgot what the riddle was about.
Может, наши друзья-зверята нам подскажут?
Maybe our little animal friends can help us. Children in costumes surrounded us, laughing and stomping, only to start spinning in a crazed roundelay that somewhat reminded me of the dance under my window on that fateful night. Grandpa Frost sits on his throne. At the kids, he's smiling back. Please don't make them wait too long. Come and open your old... Zach! Grandpa Frost burst out laughing, satisfied.
Убедили старика. Получайте.
Okay, you proved yourself to this old man. Here you go. He scouted a mountain of sweets from his scarlet sack, some of which I had never seen in commercials before. Oh, wow. Oh, that one looks like Snickers. Oh, I see Milky Way. Bubblegum of all shapes and colors with tasty aromas and inserts sticking out. Lollipops the size of a fist and tangerines the size of Olya's head. And also Snickers, Mars, Bounty Bars, and Kinder Surprise eggs that we haven't eaten for so long already.
Ой, спасибо!
Wow, thank you! I wiped away the tears of joy with my sleeve when my inner voice persuaded me to get rid of all doubts. This is exactly what I wanted for my sister and myself. The true Neverland without bullying and taboos. We're finally going to be happy. Grandpa Frost straightened up as he left his throne and threw his hands in the air over the treats. Animals that stood to his sides also raised their paws. Their eyes sparkled brighter than previous gyms. The wolf's maw was wet with saliva.
Будет пир на весь мир!
Feast, my children! Animal kids rushed to devour candy one by one, pushing each other and growling. Their faces were smeared with something dark. Olya grabbed the closest candy and tore off the wrapper. When I saw that, I felt a pendulum swing inside me. Refuse, accept. On our second episode, when Alisa offered us candy, we refused, so I feel like we need to refuse. Oh, look at Olya's face. I feel like we have to refuse because that we're trying to keep the storyline that I started in the second episode. I gripped Olya's wrist so hard that she squeaked, either from pain or from surprise. Don't. Cautious whispers spread through the room. Ears twitched on the masks. Shadows slid from one place to another.
Что такое? Что случилось?
What's wrong? Did something happen?
Ничего страшного.
It's fine.
Просто Тоша верит в несуществующий диабет.
It's just Tosha believes in non-existing diabetes.
Расказни родителей.
Parents lie.
Разбудите меня, когда он перестанет валять дурака.
Wake me up when he stops fooling around. Grandpa Frost leaned into me. He smelled of caramel and just a tiny bit of dampness.
Давайте не будем портить праздник, друзья.
Let's not spoil this wonderful occasion, my friends.
Сегодня каждый должен веселиться. Ешьте и пляшите.
Everybody should be dancing, having fun today. Eat and dance. Olya tried to pull her hand away, but I kept it in my clutches. I looked at the sweets, then at the tall man, and tried to focus on a barely discernible stench coming from him. The stench of rotten decay masked with the sugary aroma, the foul smell of a beast. It felt like I was finally able to shrug off some strong delusion. Fear, exhaustion, and coldness returned to me.
Спасибо, но мы сыты.
Thank you, but we're not hungry.
И мы пойдем, наверное. Мама с папой переживают уже.
And I think we're going home. Mom and Dad are probably worried sick already. I dragged my sister toward the exit, but Alisa stood in our path. She had a china platter in her hand. For a brief moment, I imagined maggots crawling inside it, but as soon as my eyes darted toward the offering, I saw gummy worms instead of a vomit-inducing, wreathing ball of living one.
Прошу, Антон. Мы же друзья, правда?
Anton, please. We're friends, right?
Мы даже больше, чем друзья.
We're even more than friends.
Вспомни, что я обещала.
Remember my promise.
Никто не причинит тебе зла, пока я рядом.
No one will hurt you as long as I'm here.
Ни тебе, ни Оле.
Neither you nor Olya.
Так что съешь, пожалуйста, всего одну.
So please, eat at least one.
Съешь, а?
Pretty please.
Антон, пусти! Ну пусти!
Let me go, Anton, let me go.
Теперь и ты все мне запрещаешь, прям как мама!
You're just like Mom now, forbidding me from doing anything. Olya convulsed hysterically, trying to free herself from my clutches.
Это неправильно.
This is wrong.
Все здесь какое-то неправильное.
Everything is wrong about this place.
Вот как?
Is that so?
А ты не задумывался, что из неправильного тут только твое мировоззрение?
Have you considered that maybe the only thing that's wrong here is your perception?
Как ты думаешь, что делают те таблетки, которые ты глотаешь круглые сутки, м?
Ever thought what those pills you gulp down every day do to you, huh?
Они искажают реальность, путают мысли, уводят тебя со снежной тропинки.
They twist reality. They tangle your thoughts. They lead you away from the snowy trail. I looked at Alisa with suspicion, searching for a comeback. But I couldn't find one. I remembered Volva's bloody mitten and Simon's severed finger inside a small plastic bag. All of that was just an illusion.
Кто вы?
Who are you?
А на кого мы похожи?
And who do we look like to you? So, I said, I feel like the bear is Simon. I feel like the owl is Katia, but I don't know. Just because the owl's a girl and Katia is missing, but I don't actually know for sure. I feel like the wolf is Ramka, since that's who was chasing us, and then all of a sudden it was a wolf. I don't know who Santa is, though. This might sound crazy, but I feel like the fox, because we know her name isn't actually Alisa. I feel like she's Polina, but I don't know. I have no idea who Santa is, though. Like nightmares that ravage my sick mind.
С нами вас никто больше не накажет, не запрет в комнате, не бросит в одиночестве.
With us, no one will ever punish you. No one will lock you up in a room or abandon you.
Отныне никто не заставит вас делать то, что вам не хочется.
From this moment on, no one will be able to force something you don't want upon you.
Откуда вы знаете, чего нам не хочется?
How do you know what we want? The old man rubbed Wolfie, who was munching loudly behind the ear.
Я знаю.
Oh, I do know.
Мне шепчут ветра и тени, холодные звезды и безграничные небеса.
Winds and shadows whisper to me, as do cold stars and endless skies.
Они говорят, что дети не хотят взрослеть.
They tell me that children don't want to grow up.
Превращаться в тех, кто живет запретами, угрозами, наказаниями.
They don't want to turn into those who live by taboos, threats, and punishments. His voice grew louder and louder with every word.
Ожиданием старости и смерти.
Those who live waiting to grow old and die.
Дети живут
But children live by their
мечтами.
dreams.
О, я отлично знаю детские мечты о счастливой и беззаботной жизни.
Oh, I know full well how children dream of a happy and carefree life.
Той, в которой есть чудеса и дикая свобода.
The life of wild freedom and miracles. His voice rang like thunder. It made all hair on my head stand on end.
Все это будет вашим, стоит только захотеть.
All of this will be yours. You only need but wish.
Стоит только попросить.
You only need but ask. And then he whispered,
Стоит только согласиться.
You only need but accept.
Согласиться.
Accept. Olya repeated after him like an echo, as if enchanted.
Да, моя дорогая.
Yes, my dear girl.
Вкусить это.
Partake of this feast. The old man pointed toward the fox
Я
girl.
прошу тебя, ради всех нас, ради меня, ради сестры.
Please, I beg of you, for all of us, for me and of your sister.
Зайчик, отведай хотя бы кусочек.
Please, Bunny, take just a single bite,
И тогда ты все поймешь.
and you'll understand everything. No, we're refusing. We're refusing. We're not doing this. I said no. I felt like chilling winds blew from the cavities of her eyes, from the dark holes of her other beasts, and the towering old man's too. The owl's face twitched nervously. The wolf's maw dripped with saliva. The bear shuffled his feet, any trace of sleepiness gone from his face. And from behind us towered the man who pretended to be Grandpa Frost all this time.
Я сказал, мы уходим.
Dr. Jerkle, you retained your humanity. We retained our humanity. That sounds like a good thing. I said we're leaving. I gripped my sister's hand even tighter. Candy slipped out of her fingers and smacked against the floor. Olya started looking around, frightened.
Я сказал, мы уходим.
I said we're leaving. Alyssa parroted me, and despite everything, I felt immense anger.
Ну какой же ты все-таки
My, why do you have to be
дурачок?
such a dunce? I heard the flute's melody, but now it reminded me of a cracking whip, or even agonized convulsions of a fish that was thrown out of the ice. Music dangled about, striking at my ears. And then the crystal castle was filled with cries of children that slowly turned into beastly howls, intermingled with the sounds of crunching bones and ripping skin. The china platter filled to the brim with maggots smashed into tiny pieces. Alyssa's orange fur coat ripped at the seams, letting out a cloud of foul-smelling fog. Her twisted face bared its teeth, and the stench attacked my nostrils again. The fox screamed, blood streaming down her cheeks like tears, making her fur sticky. Her bone-naked tail whipped against the walls with its vertebrae. I shielded my crying sister. Horror drilled into my stomach, rushed through my guts, and rose up to my throat. I felt the urge to tear off my glasses and lose sight. I wanted to squeeze my eyes out and go blind forever. I turned to face the owl, and my face contorted from disgust. Worms wiggled inside her mass feathers. Her rotten beak snapped like garden scissors. I staggered back and barely avoided bumping into the wolf. His face was stretching out, his bones crunched. Teeth poked out of his festering gums like shards of broken glass, and his swollen tongue kept on tirelessly licking them. At the edge of my vision, I saw the bear block our passage. Every inch of his body oozed scarlet ichor. Larva clogged his teary eyes. I pulled the shocked Olya's close, looking for the exit in a panic. My foot stepped in a pile of sweets, but they were no longer candy. Human remains blanketed the floor. Ribs with shreds of meat on them and torn out jaws. A tooth necklace and moss-covered pelvic bones. Tiny skulls and scalps swimming in a sea of blood. Eat up. The horned monstrosity towered over me, clutching a bone flute in its long-clawed fingers. A giant goat that shed his kind old man form. Completely black, emanating hatred and malice, he scorched me with red-hot coals inside his eye cavities. His horn scraped against the ceiling. Ice cracked and thawed, dripping down, forming muddy pools of water, bearing metal walls that were hidden underneath. I realized that we were doomed inside this cramped womb of a dungeon, surrounded by howling beasts. All I could do was hug my sister even tighter, and watch how the circle around us shrank, how ugly paws reached out to us from behind the veil of a bloody fog. Let me grip them to shreds, Master. I'll tear their eyeballs and screw their oozing wounds. The growling wolf's maw snapped like a bear trap, splattering thick white foam toward us. But he was immediately pushed away by a rotting bear carcass. No way, it's my turn to have fun. I got so tired of listening to their fucking drive. Oh, I'll rip the skin off this little brat while she's still alive, right in front of her brother.
Я заставлю его съесть собственную сестру. Накормлю медведя, а ее потравляй.
I'll make him eat his own sister. I'll fill his belly full of her guts.
Пожалуйста, хозяин.
Please, master. It felt like his face was about to tear apart, crack like an eggshell, letting out something even more sinister, nasty, scary. Gnarly owl claws grabbed at the grinning bear, stopping him from getting close. She's mine! Mine, you scumbags! Get your paws off the girl! The cackling zoom formed a furball that started rolling in guts and thawed fat. They howled, fought with each other, tore out scraps of fur and feathers, ready to rip each other apart like a pack of hungry dogs fighting for leftovers. A sudden squeal of the flute pulled them apart as if someone tugged on their leashes. The monster of this pack charmed the monsters with his soul-rending music, turning them to unmoving silent marionettes that faithfully awaited his commands. The goat started nibbling on his shin-bone flute. Its devilish melody that sounded like a chorus of children being run over by a steamroller went silent for one last time. A chunk of raw human flesh plopped beside my shaking feet. Eat or be eaten. Consumed by fear, I turned toward Olya. She lay by the wayside, covered in pink snow. Just like Sleeping Beauty in that cartoon. She probably lost consciousness from the soul-rending spectacle. I wanted to wail, to go mad, to die quickly and painlessly, right there and now. But alas, I couldn't. I was still inside this torture chamber, choosing between a gruesome end inside the monster stomachs and cannibalism. Woolen meat grinders kept on staring at me with their greedy, infinitely hungry eyes, ready to gnaw at my bones before eventually eating them, if I dared refuse their master's offer. But if I was to agree, I'm sure I would lose my free will just like them. I'll turn into a perpetually hungry monster that dances to the tune of a bloodthirsty madman. And I'll surely lead Olya and all those who I hold dear to their deaths. My lips trembled. A feeling of nausea turned my stomach inside. But somehow I felt the strength to scream.
Никогда и ни за что! Я человек!
No way, never! I'm a human! Those words could later be used in my epitaph, but I knew that my remains were destined to never be found. My surroundings went dead silent. Eat them, bleed them, tear them apart. The horny shadow consumed us. Sweet meat. Alisa rushed to the goat and stood between us, ridiculously tiny compared to the giant monster. Her tail dragged after her, leaving behind a scarlet trail. Fleas jumped around her back and the bones sticking out of it.
Не спеши так. Не стоит.
Wait! Don't need to be hasty.
Зайчик нам еще пригодится. Зайчик нас покормит. Вкусненько.
We still have use for the bunny. He will bring us a tasty treat.
Для медведя и лисы.
For the fox and for the bear.
Зайчик кушать принеси.
Bunny, tasty meals prepare. Flames inside his eye socket stopped trembling. Still dolls bared their teeth in anger.
Разве это зайчик?
You call him Bunny?
Разорвать и сожрать!
Tear them apart and swallow up.
Самозванец!
Imposter! Hoot hoot!
Кожаный мешок с требухой!
Gut-filled meatbag!
Заткнитесь, пустомели!
Shut up, buffoon!
Разве вы не чуете?
Can't you feel it?
Разве вы не
Have you forgotten?
Когда он чуть не укусил луну?
The moment when he almost took a bite out of the moon at the snowy clearing. The cannibals went silent, swallowing saliva in disappointment. Alisa, in the meantime, took a sharp turn and... Huh. Weird. So, Alisa saved us? So she's not evil? Returned to the farm of a cute child with a fox mask on that I met for the first time one January morning. She glided toward me, dissolving the horrors around us with the smell of tangerines, firecrackers, and magic. Her soft paws touched my cheeks, removed a sticky strand of hair from my forehead. Alisa embraced me and whispered in a sweet voice.
Тоша, ты хочешь спастись?
Do you want to save yourself, Tosha? I stayed silent, gritting my teeth. I was afraid to look away, afraid that this fleeting illusion could get shattered.
Мой милый, скажи, ты хочешь спасти свою сестру?
Tell me, sweetie, do you want to save your sister? Tears sprayed from my eyes as I wept.
Да.
Yes. I continued to sniffle and shake, grabbing at the hem of the fox's girl's long coat.
Скажи громче, чтобы все слышали.
Say it louder so everybody can hear you. Delirious from sorrow, I screamed, my face awash with tears.
Да!
Yes! My mouth was immediately filled with the metallic aftertaste of blood. It was a trick. The fox's black fingers kept pushing a chunk of human flesh deeper down my throat. Ugh. I fell to my knees, coughing up blood, unable to vomit it out. Rotting carcasses of animals surrounded me once again. What a joke! Master, let me take a small bite from the girl. Boiling anger swallowed up in my mind. Something foreign and primitive burst forth, pounced from inside me.
Только попробуй, и я вырву твой поганый язык и засуну глубоко в клаку, ты безмозглая курица!
Let me see you try. I'll tear out your filthy tongue and shove it deep down your cloaca, you brainless chicken. The ominous owl jumped away in surprise, accompanied by the fox's cackling. My voice went out, and then I bit in half. Vomit poured out of my mouth, along with the part of the treat that I wasn't able to regurgitate. You're right, bunny. His finger poked me. I felt like a knife was odds inside, deep into my solar plexus. It's your turn to treat us. Get us some meat until tomorrow night. Or else. Or else. Alisa silently stepped into the shadows, and the goat put his foul-smelling maw right into my face and roared. Or else we'll eat your entire family. He knocked his hoof against the floor, and I ran for my life, forgetting about everything else. I heard them scream at my back. We'll eat you up, alive! Shards of ice fell on my shoulders, dead rodents frozen inside them. I managed to break free, to the place where pines moved their branches, showering me with snow, cooks sprinkling salt on porridge. The wind tore at my hair. I turned around and froze over. It was the shed. That was the garage. No, that was the garage. Whenever we looked in his notebook, that's what that was. The garage was disappearing right in front of me, dissolving in layers, becoming dim and then transparent, before a gust of wind finally swept away the phantom of black walls. Only then I realized that I let go of my sister a long time ago and she was left behind in the monster's den. There was only a giant snow pile left in a place of the castle. A girl's wrist poked out of it, like a cross would poke out of a burial mound. Terrified, I rushed over to the snow pile and started digging. Olya's face, along with one of her shoulders, appeared from under the white mass. Her bluish lips trembled. She's alive!
Я сейчас!
Hang in there! I continued digging, praying for her to hang on. At some point, I was able to see her stomach. I'm cold. Her voice was faint.
Ничего,
It's okay.
отнесу тебя домой, согрею. Шоколадом напою. Ты только не засыпай, слышишь?
I'll carry you home. We'll get you warm by drinking hot chocolate. Just stay awake for me, you hear?
Только...
Just... My fingers came across something sticky and hot. I cleared out more snow. It turned red and mushy.
Что это?
What's this? What's there? I gulped.
Почему ты не отвечаешь?
Why won't you say anything? How could I tell her? Olya's body didn't exist below the stomach. Rings of guts fell out of the wound. Olya tilted her head and stared at the horrifying scraps. Then let out a deafening scream. Did she die? Did Olya die? I was hoping that I chose the right choices. I was hoping that, like, if I chose not to eat the candy, once it showed me that they were evil, I thought that maybe we made the right decision, but now I'm wondering if it was the wrong decision because she was so innocent. But Anton's innocent too. He said he's only 12. I wasn't expecting it to be so sad. I don't even know if I want to play the next episode now. My heart is shattered. But I also want to play to know if Olya's okay. But how can she? How can she be? But then again, he said that the ring from Simon, and he said that the mitten in the forest was an illusion. So does that mean we never actually found those things? So could her being cut in half, could that just be an illusion? Maybe she's okay. I don't know. Oh my gosh. I don't know. This episode, so much happened. I was so excited that he was going on another date with Polina. He got to go in her house. It was getting super cute and romantic. And then she got kind of crazy. And then her grandpa got creepy. Oh my gosh. I don't even know. I have so much to process. I have so much to process. Please let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Also, did I make the wrong decisions? Without too many spoilers, because I am going to play again, but I'm going to choose Alisa. Like, there is going to be a third playthrough where I will eat the candy, and I will accept everything that Alisa wants us to do to see what ending that'll give. But I just want to know, like, for the Polina story side, because I feel like I was trying to do the Polina story side, did I make the right choices for her side? I don't know. I'm second guessing every choice that I made up until this point. Oh my goodness. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. And hopefully I will see you for my next video. And hopefully it won't be as sad as this one. And I really hope we'll get a happy ending in episode 5. I guess only time will tell. Bye.